Ladies and gentlemen, this particular video is kind of making its rounds in the news media, and I think it's kind of shocking to some people. It's not shocking to me because I kind of come from a culture as far as my family, and a lot of us have come from a culture of a spanking culture between your parents, maybe aunties, uncles, grandparents. For some of y'all, maybe your preachers, pastors. For even other people, even teachers. I have actually seen where schools have spanking and it was normal. But we live in a society nowadays where things can be really blown out of proportion. I personally do not believe in spanking. I think if you have to physically discipline a child, then you're not a suitable parent. It's just my personal opinion because I believe in the power of the mind. The power of the mind is a beautiful thing, and I think children are like sponges, and they'll regurgitate whatever you put into them, which is why I don't believe that you have to be physical. Because why can you hit a kid? Why can you be physical with a kid, but you can't be physical with an adult? That's a crime. But you got a kid that's half of your size, a quarter of your size, but that's okay. I've never understood that. So what you guys are looking at, and this is going to be edited, so for those who are sensitive, we're not going to show the full details, nor are we going to reveal the child's identity. So that will actually be withheld, okay? But the subject of the story is the lady that you see on my screen. This Florida principal faces criminal charges after she was filmed spanking a crying 6-year-old girl with a big, huge, thick paddle. All of this happened while her mother watched. That right there, I could talk about a lot. But let's talk about this a little bit more. Let me give you some more details before I give y'all my opinion. Melissa Carter, who is the head of the Central Elementary School in Clewiston, is under investigation by the police over the spanking incident. The 6-year-old's mom, who's actually filming this, we'll get to that here in a moment, she was not named. So they didn't give the mother's name. But she said that she was called to her daughter's school after the officials complained that the little girl had caused damage to a school computer. The mother, who does not speak fluent English, who does not speak fluent English, claims that she was confused by the allegations made against her daughter as she arrived at the school on April the 13th to pay a $50 fine that the school was trying to impose on her. Why were they trying to impose a fine? What the school was trying to say was that the damage that this girl caused, a 6-year-old kid, caused to the computer was worth $50. Can I say something real quick? Let me say something. First of all, they're not going to play me like that. Let me give y'all a little bit of my history and my background. I have a tech background and I have a sales background. One thing that I can tell you guys is unless you take your device to a repair specialist, or if you're going to utilize a warranty through a company, there is really no way for you to, unless you are an expert, there is no way for you to accurately depict what it's going to cost to fix or assess damage to a computer. How stupid is that? Where are they getting that price from? 50. Oh yeah, she did such and such to the computer. That's going to be $50. How do you even know that? Y'all are teachers, not tech experts. But we'll get back to that here in a moment. Carter then brought out a wooden paddle. That's not a wooden paddle. That's a big ass spanking stick. That is a big, huge stick. And I want y'all to notice how big that, ooh-wee. The view is incredible. That is a big woman. She look like she bigger than me and I'm 6'2". I ain't trying to be too disrespectful, but that's a big size girl. She brought out this big old huge wooden paddle and smacked the girl on her behind, spanking her, And a video recorded by the mom shows what the little girl heard to cry during the attack. They call it an attack. Lord have mercy. The mother claims that she feared getting in trouble or having her immigration status questioned if she tried to stand up for her daughter. I'm going to read that again. This so-called mother claims that she feared getting in trouble or having her immigration status questioned if she tried to stand up for her daughter. Now, does that sound like a mother to any of you? Is that what you as a mother or a parent would have done? Because I got a whole lot to say about that, but let me finish telling the story first. She said that she instead offered the youngster as a sacrifice and filmed the spanking to show what was happening at the school. Florida is one of 19 states that still allows corporal punishment in schools, but the practice is banned at Hendry County School District, which includes the school that this little girl went to. So it was not in line with the law. The tearful mother told the news, "Nobody would have believed me," but I guess she was able to speak that. I guess she was able to speak that properly. I guess she knew enough English to be able to say that. She said, "I sacrificed my daughter so all parents can realize what's happening in this school." And I want y'all to know that's not my words. The mother used the word sacrifice. Sacrifice. She sacrificed her child. Does that sound like a good mother to you? We'll get back to that. She says she spoke on the phone with somebody from the school who mentioned paddling the girl with a deputy present. But she says that due to a language breakdown, she didn't know what that meant. She says when she arrived at the school, she was ushered into the principal's office and no deputy was present for the punishment. She said, "My daughter was already in the office. The principal started to scream. There were no cameras. What are we doing in this place? My daughter and I alone." She added, "The hatred which she hit my daughter, I meant it was a hatred that really I never hit my daughter like she hit her. I had never hit her." The mother later took her daughter to a doctor and documented the red marks and bruises made by the paddle. She says she is now worried about what psychological harm has been caused to her child. Please bookmark that. I want y'all to bookmark that part of the story because I am going to rip this woman apart based on her own words. She says she's worried about the psychological damage that has been caused to her child. Bookmark that. We'll come back to it. Her attorney is reviewing the case to see whether they can pursue criminal charges against Carter and Cecilia Self, the clerk of the school who was seen in the room in the video. Self, the clerk, was designated to translate for the mother, but the mother says she failed to do so. Pravinsky told the news that's aggravated battery. They are using a weapon that can cause severe physical harm. The child is terrified. She feels vulnerable. And I want y'all to remember, with the AFC and we advocate for children first, don't forget that. We'll come back to that. There's nothing she can do in the hands of these adults who treated her so brutally, savagely, and sadistically. Is that... Anyway, on the website for the school district, it states, the superintendent shall designate sanctions for the infractions of rules excluding corporal punishment. Neither Carter nor the school has responded to requests for comments. I don't mind discipline with permission, but not when there's a language barrier, said Ruby Monroe, whose grandson attends the school. She told the news, I work for the state of Florida for 34 years, and we always had an interpreter. Corporal punishment is legal in 19 states, which include Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Wyoming. But certain school districts in those states have banned the punishment. In 2011, New Mexico became the most recent state to outlaw the practice. So before I get into any of that and give y'all my opinion, believe me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Let me give y'all the fair usage first. Let me let y'all hear the news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Guys, post y'all thoughts. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into this language barrier. We're going to get into sacrificing your child. We're going to get into the lawsuit. We're going to get into all of that. I haven't even given my thoughts yet. All right, let's get it.
Now video of a 6-year-old little girl being paddled by the principal, which has gone viral. The principal didn't know that the child's mother was filming her on her cell camera, which has also prompted plenty of comment. We should warn you that the video may be disturbing for some viewers.
Put your foot out.
It's upsetting video. The sickening sight of a little girl being paddled at school. The 6-year-old, yes, she's only 6, was punished by the school's principal while the child's mother secretly recorded the incident on her cell phone. The chilling video is being seen across America at the start of Teacher Appreciation Week.
The way she threw her arm back to whack that little girl.
The child's mother says she was called to Central Elementary School in Clewiston, Florida, and told to pay $50 because her daughter scratched a computer screen. The first grader was then paddled while a clerk held her still.
No.
We spoke with the mother's attorney, Brent Krabinski.
Why didn't the girl's mother intervene instead of taping the incident?
She's intimidated, and I said to her, why didn't you intervene? She says, I was so frightened. I was absolutely frozen.
That's the part that really bugs me. We'll get back to it. Let me let y'all hear this again. Because the news interview person asked the perfect question, why? Shout out to Tommy, because Tommy talks about that all the time. The most important question you can ask is why. Can y'all type that in the chat? Why? Why? Why?
We spoke with the mother's attorney, Brent Krabinski.
Why didn't the girl's mother intervene instead of taping the incident?
She's intimidated, and I said to her, why didn't you intervene? She says, I was so frightened. I was absolutely frozen with shock and frozen with fear.
The principal, Melissa Carter, has been suspended, and the incident is being investigated by the state attorney's office. After the paddling, she continued to berate the terrified child, who is just 3 feet tall and weighs 40 pounds.
If your mom wants to come up to the school and spank you and we can watch, that's gonna happen.
There's something about this principal that is disturbing, about her willingness to inflict so much pain on a little first grader.
Melissa Carter was popular among parents and children at the school. Last May, on National Principals Day, parents staged this noisy drive-by show of appreciation outside school. Now she's waiting to hear if she will face criminal charges.
We're all waiting. Both the principal and the school district refuse to comment.
What are y'all thoughts? I'm going to show y'all this next video. Same video. A lot of it is blurred out. Same video. I'll give y'all my thoughts after this.
Ow.
This disturbing video of a 6-year-old's punishment at school
No, put your hands down.
has led to calls for an arrest. That's Clewiston, Florida school principal Melissa Carter striking the little girl with a wooden paddle because she had allegedly scratched a school computer. In the video, you can hear the principal chastising the child.
You better be glad you're not my daughter, because I would spank your butt all the time for acting like that. And I wish you would try to call the police on me. That's called being a brat.
Carter's assistant, Cecilia Self, also seen in the video, tells the little girl how to stand.
Put your butt out.
And then 3 whacks from the principal, the girl crying and moving after the first. But then instructed to get back in position. The incident happened in April when the first grader's mother asked to come to the school to pay $50 for the damage to the computer. That's according to her lawyer, who says the mother does not speak English.
She said to me, when this happened, I absolutely froze in fear. They have fears of deportation. I think the other.
We're going to talk about the fact that the mom's claims I speak no English. We're going to get to that here in a moment also.
Part of it was that she didn't know what the principal was allowed to do.
Corporal punishment is legal in 19 states, including here in Florida, but not allowed in Hendry County School District, where this incident took place. ABC News confirming the state's attorney is reviewing the incident involving Principal Carter as part of an active investigation by police.
If your mom wants to come up to the school and spank you and we can watch, that's gonna happen. Do you understand me?
Well, the Department of Children and Families and the school district are also investigating this incident. In the newsroom, Alexis Frazier, Local 10 News.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So for those of you who came to hear the news story, then you came to the wrong place. For those of you who did not want to hear my personal opinion and thoughts, you came to the wrong place. Okay? Here are my thoughts. First of all, let's take this step by step. We're going to scroll all the way back to the beginning of this article. Okay? It says that a Florida school principal faces criminal charges after she was filmed spanking a crying 6-year-old with a paddle while her confused mother watched. Let's start there. How many of you guys as parents would watch any human being, I don't give a damn if it's the principal or God himself, how many of y'all are going to sit there and watch anybody misuse and abuse your child? Sound off. I want to hear what y'all got to say. I don't give a damn how big, how tall, how fat, how white, how rich. I don't give a damn what you are. How many of y'all as parents, I don't care what country you come from, you can't speak no English? No hablo inglés? Lo sientos? Huh? How many of y'all, regardless of what language you speak, you know abuse, you know your child, you know the fact that you gave birth to a child, it's your kid. You show up and somebody's hitting your kid. What do? You sit your non-English speaking ass there and you just film and record. Why? Mom, why? Is that normal? To watch somebody take a big old huge stick and beat the absolute, now I don't believe she beat the absolute dog crap out of her. I know what spanking is. Let's not blow it out of proportion, okay? I don't think it was too crazy. And y'all got to remember, I'm the Advocates for Children. I'm trying to tell y'all the difference, okay? No, this wasn't overboard. But the mother is trying to make it seem like this was overboard. How many of y'all, maybe some of y'all never got a spanking. I did. This ain't nothing compared to what we got as kids. Matter of fact, there was a point, I think, in summer school when me and my brother, shout out to my brother, where we went to a private school. And when they spanked you, they spanked you. That ain't no spanking. Okay? When we got whooped, we didn't even call it spanking. We called it whoop. Because it ain't nothing like that. You got to sit there and just take it. And you just counting the licks down. You're just like 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay, was that the last one? Oh, shoot, she got more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, dang, she's still going. Ooh, it's hurting. You got whooped. Huh? Maybe some of y'all are not as old as I am. Maybe some of y'all have never been spanked, hit, beat before. Do I still believe it's wrong? Yes. But this ain't what I just described. That's first of all. Second of all, if it was horrific and psychologically damaging as the mother tries to claim, even though she's speaking no English, then why didn't you get your punk ass up and stop them women from beating the crap out of your kid? Let me tell you something about white folk. Can I do that for a second? Do I have any white people in the chat? We got to be a little comical because this stuff is crazy, man. Do I have any white people in the chat? I don't know if you're there. If you want to call yourselves out, you can raise your hand and say, I was white DJ Just Jay. Here's one thing that I can tell you, not only about white people, and y'all can tell me if I'm right or wrong. White women, white mothers, white authority female figures. If you tell them not to do something, they're not going to go against you and do it while you're just sitting there and standing there, especially when it comes to your kid. Am I lying? If the mom would have said, no, 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 after the first lick, or even bending her over, or even screaming and hollering at her, or even with the stick in hand, you mean to tell me that you just, one thing, if you're going to tell me that you can't speak or know English, I know one word that you do know that's the same in English and Spanish and other languages is N-O, no. No means the same thing in English and Spanish. Am I lying? No means no, and that don't. Thank you. Somebody said in the chat, no means no in any language. You tell those white women to stop and say no, they're not going to do what you just saw on camera. So what exactly does that mean? That means that you as a mother gave consent. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. That is an important word in 2021. Why? Because a lot of the stuff that's going on in our society, in our communities, the things that we vote for, our laws, being subjected to wearing masks, is because you consent. Comprende? That's the way law works. Nobody can do anything to you unless you consent to it. So what I'm saying is that this mother allowed it, the mother encouraged it, and the mother watched them beat her child, didn't do nothing about it, and what did she decide to do on top of that? Secretly record. When I say secret, because if them women knew that they were on tape, they wouldn't have did what they did. That's another thing that I know about white people. Is if they know that the camera is there, they're not going to do some ignorant crap. They're not going to do anything that's even questionable on camera. Am I lying? Let me know if I'm going off the rails. If we have any white people, if I'm saying something that's wrong, please say, DJ Just Jay, I's white, and I don't agree with you. I'm giving y'all autonomy to say it in the chat. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. All right? Let's get to my next point. Mom says she don't speak fluent English. I's no speaking no English. Huh? So let's talk about this, because apparently this is a controversial thing for a lot of you people who get triggered in my chat. Whenever I say that if you live in America, you should know the language. Wherever your residence is, wherever you live, you should know the language. If you live in Australia, you should be able to speak a little Australian, mate. If you live in China, you better learn some Chinese. Or some Mandarin, something. Mandarin will at least get you by in China and Japan, but we'll move on. If you live in Mexico, guess what language you better be able to speak? So why is it that if your residence is in America, why don't you speak the language? Now, here's the difference, what people don't understand. There's a difference between your residence and your visitation. Residence and visitation. Does everybody understand the difference? Because if you don't, let me break it down. Let's just say you go to Asia, you go to Africa, you go to Mexico, and you're visiting for 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months. You don't have to learn the language. If you come to America for 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months, you don't have to learn the language. It shouldn't be required. But if you have a social security number in America, if you are collecting a paycheck in America, if you are collecting benefits in America, if you own property in America, if you own a lease in America, if your residency is here in America, if you have a license in America, you have credit cards in America, then you should be able to speak the American language. If you vote in America, everybody understand what I'm saying? The same thing should be worldwide. Wherever your residency is, if you live there permanently, you should damn sure know the language. Why is that so controversial for people? Why do people want to rip their panties up because of what I just said? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Do you think you go to Rome, live there, and don't speak the Roman language? Do as the Romans do? That's culture. Why would you want to be outside of somebody's culture if you live there? If you hate it that much, why do you want to be here? Matter of fact, let's talk about this deportation thing, this so-called threat. Let's go back to the story. This woman says she is scared that they're going to bring up her immigration status. Let me tell you why that's BS. Are y'all ready for this? I got a whole lot to say tonight. I told y'all, this is why I picked this story, because I got a whole lot to say about this. Why would you be scared of immigration if you are a legal citizen of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all? Let me say that again. If you are a legal citizen, law-abiding citizen, why would you, just like me, just like Lee in the chat, just like Dre the Dream, or anybody else in my chat, are legal citizens of the United States? Why would they deport us when we're legal? Unless, unless you're trying to say that you're here illegally. Because y'all know how I feel about people who don't follow the law, who are not law-abiding citizens, and that ain't got nothing to do with what country or nationality you represent. I don't discriminate. I don't hate on the race. I rate by your actions. Everybody understand? If you're going to reside in America, you should be here legally. Why would you want to have more criminals and thugs around you? Criminals and thugs are non-law abiding citizens. They could be naturally from here or from somewhere else. Why would you want people that ain't following the law and tearing up your shit? You best believe you're not going to come in my house and tear up my house. Or do y'all just believe that anybody and everybody can come inside your house, shit on your walls, piss on your floor, and leave your milk out on the table and not put it back in the refrigerator with the top on it? Is that how you live? No, you don't. So why would you want people like that to live in your community, live in your state, live in your city, and bring your property values down? Because they don't want to do the right thing. Because guess what? If your ass lived in another country, guess what you're going to have to do? Get with the program. Is that controversial? Is y'all skin a little thin? Huh? Y'all got thick skin? Or we getting a little offended in this bitch today? I got a whole lot to say about this. Let's go back to my point. Why would you be afraid of them questioning your immigration status? That's stupid. Because if you have legal status, then it don't matter what they question. You are or you're not. Everybody understand? Let's move on to my next point. They said that the mother, actually she said, I'm going to read this. She said that she offered her youngster as a sacrifice, quote unquote sacrifice, and filmed the spanking to show what was happening in the school. Let me ask you guys a question, to the people who are listening in the chat who are not triggered. Huh? How many of y'all would offer your children as a sacrifice? Where is a microphone? Can I get a microphone? I don't have another microphone to drop, to do the mic drop. Can we get a hashtag babies for benefits in the chat, please? I'm telling y'all, man, it's this Mountain Dew. This Mountain Dew energy drink got me I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Because I got a whole lot to say right now. Is this not the epitome of babies for benefits? Let me explain what I mean. First of all, why in the F word would you sacrifice your child? Even the verbiage is stupid, because it's the idea that you're trying to convey. And you're saying you gave up your child in order to get something in return. That's what a freaking sacrifice is it not? That's the same definition in every culture, not just America. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I on a roll or am I not? I might as well be Hawaiian, because I'm damn sure on a roll right now. She offered her child as a sacrifice for her to collect a benefit. What is the benefit? She filmed it without them knowing. That's the benefit. Why is that a benefit? Because she gonna take her stinking ass over and hire a lawyer and then claim foul. Foul ball. She's calling foul ball on the play. The ball is in the dirt, not in the green. She's claiming foul ball. Because what she wants to do is she wants to sue for money. This ain't got shit to do with her child being psychologically damaged. Because if it was, why would you sit there and watch it happen and you don't do nothing? You was afraid of your immigration status, so you're going to just let somebody murder and abuse your kid? To me, that means that you should be getting just as much punishment for kicking back and watching it the same way as that principal and that other administrator, right? Let me explain what I mean and how that ties into the rest of my show, and we'll close it out here. How many times have y'all sat and watched boyfriends murder and abuse a mother's kid, and the mother knew it and allowed it to happen and didn't do nothing about it? Is this not the same thing? Or even the fathers that allow their girlfriends to abuse the kids to death and dad knew about it and didn't say anything? Is this not the same thing? You knew the abuse was happening. You offered the abuse as a sacrifice, allowed it to happen. You were okay with it. You didn't protest it. You didn't say anything, but yet you filmed it and then secretly gave it to a lawyer who put it out on the news, whoever put it out there on the news, for you to be able to get a check off of your kid's bottom, which is called Babies for Benefits. That's an AFC hashtag. Thank you guys so much for listening to this story. I hope y'all listen with an open mind and an open heart. If you got triggered, then good. You didn't listen hard enough. I'm DJ Just Jay, and I hope that that principal will just understand that hitting and spanking, there's no place for it. There's no use for it. It's a Neanderthal tactic. Does she need jail time? No, she don't. Does she need to be suspended? No, she doesn't. She just needs to learn a better way of discipline. Is that child going to be psychologically harmed? No, it's not. But that child will be psychologically harmed by the mother if the mother believes it's okay to offer your child as a, what she quotes, as a sacrifice. That's the damage. This kid will be fine in the hands of another parent. I'm DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. And from my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for listening. Hit that thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I got a lot more to say, so come back and check us out again, all right? Peace.